You're listening to Sit, Talk, and Listen podcast with your hosts, Payroll Rob and Zadie Bauer.
Sit, talk, listen.
Hey, what's up, everybody? Yes, hello, welcome. It is Sit, Talk, and Listen, episode 41. Zadie, how are you?
I'm good. Episode 41, and right off the top, I could think of two.
Ooh, two 41s. Let's
Yaroslav Halak.
Wow, there you go. Would you know that name? Had he not been a St. Louis player?
No, the name, yes. Jersey number, probably not.
Yarrow. I was a fan.
Second one,
That's a
pretty
good one.
easy, and probably the most famous 41 of all time, and that is Dirk Nowitzki.
Dirk. The Dirkster. Yep, that is on the top of the lists for 41s.
Oh, you have it.
I looked it up because I am not a number savant like little Xavier here.
I mean, I just named two.
I mean,
like 41's a hard one.
I agree. That's why I had to look it up because I don't know much league. I don't watch a lot of ball. So even when I saw that Dirk's name was on 41, I'm like, really? I don't know why I can't picture it in my head, him wearing a jersey with 41. Maybe I was thinking he was in like the 70s for some reason. Did he ever change his number? Am I imagining things?
No, I think he's always been 41.
He was always a 41, huh? All right. Well, consider me learned. I've been learned. And then there was a couple other famous 41s. Wes Unseld?
Wes Unseld.
Damn. Yeah, that
guy.
Tom Seaver, MLB. We know him too.
Yeah. Damn, that 41's got some like.
We got Charlie Waters, NFL, and Eddie Matthews, another MLB.
Damn, yeah. All right, that 41. That's impressive.
I mean, I didn't know these. I mean, I've heard some of these names in passing, but I would not have been able to like pull them out of my ass.
Eddie Matthews,
No way.
Very good MLB player. Tom Seaver, one of the best pitchers of all time. Dirk Nowitzki, one of the best.
Tom Seaver, pitcher, Mount Rushmore? Would he be there?
He'd be on the cusp.
Okay.
I think he had a 99% Hall of Fame
People would
vote.
hear an argument for him, is what you're saying.
Tom Seaver was one of the guys who had like one vote short of 100%. You know,
there's always something. Yeah, unanimous or whatever.
Yeah,
sure. Yeah, there's always that one guy. No way, I won't vote for Tom Seaver. He's obviously going to get in. I'm going to vote for little Harry, whatever.
It's crazy. I mean, the ego on some of these guys is insane.
Yeah.
I think Mariano Rivera is the only person to have unanimous all time.
Yeah.
And he might be next week if you think
it's kind of interesting. Yeah, we get good timing to kind of go into the MLB Hall of Fame discussion because just recently it was announced and talked about that Pete Rose and Shoeless Joe Jackson would be eligible. I think
they're being reinstated.
Yeah, so they're being reinstated, which I guess makes them eligible to be voted on to be included in the Baseball Hall of Fame. I don't know all the details, but it does open the conversation up.
Two different.
Should these guys go in? Are we gonna? I mean, we're gonna leave it up to the writers like we've left everything else up.
This could open up a 30-minute Pandora's box here. Like
we can touch on it. It's a good conversation.
Two very different situations with Pete Rose, obviously allegedly.
I don't think it was alleged. He said he bet.
He bet on baseball, but no. Allegedly, he said he only bet
games he wasn't involved.
And no, he said he only bet on his teams to win. Which even then, though, like you can be changing you can be making decisions that you wouldn't be making. Like, I'm going to use my
influenced managing. You're playing influenced.
But there has been reports and statements that say otherwise, that he did bet on his team to lose. Shoeless Joe Jackson is interesting because he literally took money to throw a World Series. I want to say 1921.
Yeah, I don't know the years, Tim.
But he did take the money, but he then went on and bet like 400 in that.
He was like the best player.
Yeah. He was like, I'm just gonna take this bag.
No, I don't know.
I don't say Shoeless Joe. Like, I don't know. Like, it's kind of fucked up. Like, obviously, lifetime ban. Their lifetime is over.
Right.
But it's such a petty move.
I do think that it's like they should. Come on, you got to separate. it's like a lot of these artists in the modern world. I mean, I'm sure artists back in the day were fucked up too, but a lot of artists now you see get into murky waters with some different things. So being able to separate the art from the artist, if you will, so to separate the player from the person that they were.
So should R. Kelly be eligible for the Music Hall of Fame if there was one?
That's tough. Because, like, obviously he was able to make music that, touched and affected a lot of people.
Weird word.
Ooh, bad word. Well, I'm not here I'm not reading off a script or nothing, so sometimes you use words that are like that. No, I don't know. You have to include the full picture if you were to put him in some sort of Hall of Fame, right? You have to say, here's the numbers from their career. This is what they did that made them,
I mean, Pete Rose is the hit king.
Right. That's what I'm saying. Like, you can't not acknowledge this guy when you talk about baseball.
Yeah, but we're doing the same. That's what I'm saying. Pandora's box is in. Like, all right, well, Barry Bonds isn't in the Hall of Fame.
Right. And that's, again, right. Everybody from the steroid era. It's like, if it seems as though it's talked about that, it was so rampant in baseball that it was almost still a level playing field because everybody was juicing. So it's like these guys still stood out head and shoulders above the guys they were playing with in that era of baseball.
And not to mention, Barry Bonds won 3 MVPs before he even touched the steroid. He is the best player of all time. I know, I don't even, in my mind, that's not debated. Well, Shohei Ohtani's doing things we never saw. And I don't know, I didn't plan on getting into this much baseball talk, but
we don't plan for shit.
It's interesting to me. I think it goes beyond.
Interesting.
It's interesting even outside of the sports realm of like, I want to know from people who don't watch baseball to know that, okay, this guy, Shoeless Joe Jackson, took money to throw a World Series back in the 1920s and then went on to have the best World Series out of everyone there.
Right.
But he took the bribe. Like, where do you morally stand on that? Like,
yeah. What does that mean for you?
Like, if I was paid to kill somebody, like as a hitman, and I took the money but never intended on killing that person, am I still
piece of shit?
Yeah.
No, but they did lose that World Series that he took the money on, right?
Yeah,
even though he played good. Maybe other people on the team.
I don't know.
Were there other guys on the team that were also bought out that just weren't, weren't able to be traced back and things like that?
That's the whole Field of Dreams was that whole team.
Right. So it's dirty pool. I think he has to wear all that old Shoeless Joe.
He don't like wearing anything. Not even fucking shoes.
This man, that's great. That's crazy. You gonna play baseball shoeless? That's crazy.
He should be in the Hall of Fame for that.
His own wing.
Batted 400, not a goddamn cleat on him.
Not a goddamn cleat on him.
That is crazy.
Well, they say, I've heard there's studies that talk about if you walk around without shoes or barefoot more often, that is better for your feet in the long run, because it obviously is how humans evolved, being barefoot, and our feet are, work in such a way that it's the best for our balance and stability to, have direct contact with the ground, which is crazy.
Yeah, I wonder how long you have to do that before it's like your feet just get
calloused all up.
Well, it's like these cooks in my job who can just grab like shit right out of the salamander, which is a broiler,
right?
And dude, like I'm talking fajita.
I know how hot it is.
And they don't even get blisters. Their hands are so calloused over. Yeah. It's crazy.
Yeah, dude, that's bizarre to me. That shit is.
If you want to be humbled or feel like less of a man,
sit down
and grab a plate that they took the hot plate, put it on another plate, and that plate that they put it on is too hot for me to touch without a towel, and they look at you like, you bitch.
I said too hot. Hot damn.
Yeah, it's crazy.
No, So, you just got to callous yourself up a little bit sometimes to things.
So, yeah, Hall of Fames, this or that. Wow.
Hall of Fames, this and that. Number 41s we were talking about. So today is May 15th, 2025.
It's got to be better than last week.
On our national days. There's some good ones today. We are 10 days removed from Cinco de Mayo. So what would so today would be what do they call the 15th birthday? It's a quinceañera. So it would be quinceañera de Mayo today. Yeah, whipping out.
No, it would just be something like that. I'm not gonna.
Come on, we can speak a little Spanish, right? Un poco?
Quinceañera is like the celebration of the 15th birthday.
Oh, that's just...
Quincy is...
That's right. That's how the number 15 is said. God damn it. Stupid idiot. Ah!
Vete a la verga.
All right. So, national days. We have May 15th as National Chocolate Chip Day. Not the cookie, the little chocolate chip.
The morsel.
What do you like chocolate chips in more, cookies or pancakes?
Cookie.
Cookie.
100%.
Book
It's the best cookie. It's the best cookie.
Do you like pancakes? What's your favorite pancake filling? Blueberries?
I like
Bananas?
D lineman.
Pancake fillings? D lineman? Ugh.
Pancake and a D lineman.
Okay.
No, I mean, I like pancakes just fine.
I like pancakes just fine.
I don't know.
I was just asking about chocolate chips and the pancakes.
I like chocolate chips better and like other stuff.
Yeah, all right. There
Cookies.
you go.
I like them in a dessert type setting.
The chocolate chips.
Chocolate chip brownies.
You don't want to bring it into a savory dish necessarily?
Nah, I think just peanut butter or butter and syrup will get the job done.
Yeah, all right. Is it International Family Day?
Oh.
That's a good one.
They should stack that a little further away from a day that you're already kind of
Celebrating the moms. Yeah, we're only, about 4 days removed from Mother's Day, something like that.
A few weeks away from Father's Day. You should put it in like
That's probably why they put it in the middle.
August.
They should put it
the
in
dog days
August.
August. Get together with your family.
Yep. It's National Notebook Day, as in the ones we write on, not the movie. Shout out Gosling. National Nylon Stocking Day. What do you think about a pair of nylons?
I think
They get you going?
They don't get me going, but I don't know if they're as fashionable. Maybe I'm just not in the corporate world. I don't do what pantyhose, right?
Yeah, that's what some people might refer to.
Do
some
women
nylons
still wear
as.
nylons?
Call in.
Women.
Call in women. Yeah, I'm thinking that they do in certain settings. I'm thinking leggings have heavily replaced maybe nylons in a lot of different fashionable choices.
Leggings was a great invention.
Leggings? Yeah, shouts out to that guy or girl.
I mean, they just can wear them in like any settings, and it's just acceptable.
Yeah. Yeah.
But nylons, I
I'm
remember
good.
growing up, I feel like, like my mom and aunts, they all wore nylons, but like, I'm trying to, what is the purpose of nylons?
I think it's like if you didn't get a chance to shave, you're trying to cover up your legs a little bit. I don't know, dude. I don't know. I can't even act like I know fashion, so
It's
I'm
still
not
got,
going
it's got
to-
a national day.
It's got a national day, and that day is today. Along the same lines of the people that are wearing those nylons, it is also National Senior Fraud Awareness Day. So don't get duped by that Serbian
I
prince,
like this
Grandma.
day. I like
He said,
this day.
I like this day.
Because it's fucked.
It is. It is.
And they prey on these people. And one of my friends from work, his mom also is like, she's dealing with a lot of issues mentally.
Yeah.
And
They prey on these people.
too. She thinks that and I'm not going to say his name, but he was just telling me that she, even when she's came out of her like psychosis, she's still very convinced that like Channing Tatum is scamming her.
Oh my gosh!
But it's because
somebody
these
is
people
like,
prey on these people. With
yeah,
like,
they
mental
send
health
them
issues
their like Facebook messages of fake profiles,
and saying that. Yeah, so
Gosh.
she's like convinced that Channing Tatum is like preying on her.
Dude, that's fucked. That's so fucked.
Yeah.
So I agree. We gotta be more aware of this. So May 15th, National Senior Fraud Awareness Day. Definitely.
I love
talk to anybody in your life that's older that needs to, be a little grounded.
So susceptible.
So susceptible. I mean, everybody is, but especially the older generation because, their willingness to believe what somebody's telling them, because
And they don't really quite understand where technology's at either. Like,
right.
oh, I can send you a $500 Visa gift card and get $2,000 back. Like, it's my lucky day. Like,
yeah. Or the one that I've been hearing is popular, as fucked up as it is like scammers will call an old relative. They'll know information about you, like maybe your name, and they'll say, Grandma, this is Nick. I'm calling from the hospital. I need you to send $1,500 so that they can do this procedure and fix me up. They need you to send this now or I can't be saved, essentially. right? And it's like maybe to you and I, like, okay, obviously a fucking hospital doesn't need me to wire them money to save your life or whatever. But for grandma, she's worried about her little grandbaby. You know what I mean? She's gonna hop on that Western Union.
My grandma will be like, he's fucked.
Sorry about it. He's fucked.
That tap's dry.
I'm dead.
What's he look like, Savannah?
Wee. So, definitely call out all the frauds you see out there, man. And especially, you see it on Facebook all the time, all these olds falling for all the frauds. My favorite that you saw for years on end were people that would be like, have 25 questions listed out, like, favorite color, first street you grew up on, first pet's name. And people are like, oh my gosh, this is so fun and trivia. Let's answer all these questions and put it out on social media. And it's like, hey, wait a minute. These are all the questions to break your passwords.
Well, don't be mad at them. Like, they're really just trying to be innocent, having fun.
I know.
You know what I mean?
But I'm talking about now that we're more aware of these things. It's Awareness Day. So make sure to call out your relatives if they're doing things like that.
These scammers should be treated the same as pedophiles and anybody else who preys on human beings' innocence.
Yes. I like that. That's not a bad thought. I agree. All people that prey on others' innocence and trustworthiness, like people want to trust other people that take advantage of that should be treated like the scum of the earth.
Yeah, I mean, they literally should bring back public shaming. And I'm talking to a massive...
I've been saying, this is my preaching, bring back the shame, motherfuckers.
Like, that is just low scum.
Like if you've been caught to be a scammer, you should then have to register as a national scammer, just like you register as a sex offender. And if you start a new job, you have to say, hello, my name is Greg. I've been known to scam people.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
Like, nobody wants a trickster's gaffster.
Yeah. Speaking of gaffsters, you had a little, I mean, we can kind of just get into it and then we'll get back to the national days, but you were talking of a little incident at work, maybe with somebody being a little sticky fingered and how the situation kind of made you feel.
Oh, yeah. Well, I'm in a different role now at my work.
Maybe managers. Amy.
Well, yeah. But anyway, it was brought to my attention yesterday that the previous night, one of my coworkers, employers, had brought his AirPods in and he sets them in a plastic cup, puts them on a countertop in a side room that's closed.
Yeah.
When that room is closed. And they were missing. So after running back the cameras, we found the culprit. Could see them clear as day on the camera. Taking
no questions asked.
Yeah, taking the AirPods. You can zoom in. I mean, technology is crazy.
Yeah. And
you could see people. They look around. And this person had came to me literally 30 minutes ago and was like talking about how fucked up they were. And yeah, so you
got a person that's messed up at work and taking AirPods.
Yeah, and I guess the decision that was made today, which I'm off today, was that they just had to give the AirPods back to them. But they were not let go. I just think it's a bad precedent to set. I mean, I don't know. I feel like I do feel a little more weird now in these
talking about situations.
Yes.
Because you're a manager boy.
No.
One of them. I
did joke at the first manager meeting. I was like, yeah, I came in and they all had black robes on and they made me cut my palm into a vial and they were all saying, one of us.
Yeah, dude. That's what I figured would happen.
Oh, bootlicking trustee Xavier. But while we're on the subject.
Yeah. Okay.
We've had another incident that I cannot exclaim enough that like this is the shit that still is going on and why some of this racial tension still exists.
Oh yeah.
This guy
at work.
Pierce.
At work?
I will say his name because
work?
Yeah, at work.
Okay. Just verifying.
In a public setting.
Fucking Pierce.
Just drops the N-word.
Eek.
And I just think and around people that it would upset, and I just think it's fucked up.
Yeah.
That it's like how and then he goes on to like try to explain himself and all this shit, and like evidently like this isn't the first time. So
he said this isn't the first time.
Yeah. So I don't know, man.
What's up with that? What's up with people?
I asked him how long it takes him to get out of his robe and get into his work uniform when he gets there.
Gosh.
But it's fucked.
He said, that's not too long.
But it's crazy. I mean, these seem to be happening every other week.
Yikes.
So, anyways.
Keep an eye on Pierce Boy. He should be thinking about those kind of things. It's May 15th. It's also Straw Hat Day.
What a tension relief.
Yeah, what a little U-turn there. Bring this back around.
I do like all these days.
May 15th got a couple bangers, dude.
Straw Hat
bangers.
Day. I wish I would have known. I would have dressed for the occasion.
Yeah, we are not partaking.
Cousin of the sombrero.
Now, this was another one that I heard, and we'll end this one. It's a pretty good one. It's a recognized day. I'm trying to just look.
Jesus Christ!
Well, it's a long one.
National Anticipation Day.
It's a long one, but I was trying to find it so I could read it word for word, but I'm losing it on this list here. But it was like National Appreciate the First Record You Bought with Your Own Money, no matter what it was, day. You know,
I'm
like
trying to think
really
what
long,
that would be for me.
Well, I can distinctly remember
The first album you bought with your own money.
it was in second grade. It was the Baha Men.
Oh,
yeah, dude. Let me let the dogs out.
That's awesome. Did we
guess.
talk about the meaning of that song? You know what that is?
Maybe I don't
It's
remember.
basically saying who let the ugly women in the club.
Oh, sure. Who let their dogs out?
Yeah, that's what that
Hell
song's
yeah.
about.
Yeah, dude. Baha Men got it. So that was in second grade for me. But I feel like I guess I didn't buy them. I just tried the timeline.
Did your parents buy it?
It was a birthday present, so it was
That's
like
what-
it was
I
like my
remember-
first one that I picked. Like if that counts, I guess. I think one that I bought with my own money was a Kansas record. It was like a best of 2-disc compilation thing, and it's like I had money from Marilyn and Ralph on vacation, and I've spent $25 on this compilation record.
Yeah, I remember
Dust in the Wind, baby.
the Country Grammar album.
Ooh.
I don't know if that was my first. I can't remember if that was the first, but it's like it would check out.
Did you? Yeah, is like one you picked or one that you got just bought
I
for
wanted
you?
it. Yeah,
Did you buy it?
No, I didn't buy. I mean, I was in second grade.
But did you pick it? Well, as far as like you said, you know, can you give me this out record, CD, whatever? You know what I mean?
Yeah, my brother Billy later goes on and he bit that CD, he bit a chunk out of it.
Maybe that's why Billy is where he is today. He was eating CDs. The effects of long-term CD exposure. I don't know, man. You got me. So, yeah, but I feel like I got some Backstreet Boys. I had a few Backstreet Boys cassette tapes, man. Like it wasn't even CDs. Like, you know what I'm saying? I had the ones that were leaned up against like some building. That was the one that had the "Quit Playing Games with My Heart." That record, whichever one that was.
I remember that was the back then. It was 98 Degrees, Backstreet Boys, and NSYNC.
Yeah, Backstreet Boys led the way though, dude.
And I was like heavily influenced by like my big cousin Heather back then. Like, you know, really got into all those boy bands. My first ever concert was Backstreet Boys.
Nice.
Heather and I.
See?
And that's for the Millennium Tour.
Tony went to that one, my sister Tony.
Yeah.
And I think she even went with our foreign exchange student that lived with us at that time for like
I remember
6
from
months.
Brazil.
From Brazil. That's correct.
Yes.
She brought us all. Louisa was her name.
Really?
Louisa. Couldn't tell you her last name.
Silva.
Silva. What an interesting thing.
Siva.
What an interesting thing. I mean, I was a little tyke. I had no say in whether the Mac.
I
It's
mean,
interesting to feel like. I don't know how my parents ended up deciding that we needed a foreign exchange student. I have no idea how that came to be.
crazy.
Isn't that wild to think about?
in that household.
Yeah, hey, there's.
I remember
it
her.
was a thing. It was a thing.
Like I was around her enough to like remember her. And I
Right.
remember she gave you like a yellow Brazil soccer jersey.
Yeah, I still got it because it was an adult size jersey, so I still have it.
That's crazy. Do you
Yeah.
ever think about her?
Not really, not until it's brought up.
Like you've never found her?
No, I think my mom still has touches with her somehow. Facebook, like you
Really?
know, keeps in. Yeah, sure. She was the one I'm sure that organized and made it all come to be somehow.
That's wild.
She said, "Foster puppies? No. Foreign exchange student? Yeah."
Where did
come
she
on.
stay?
And maybe her and Tony shared a room. Maybe. Oh no. She had her own room. It was that little side one that then became Joe's room.
Really? I thought that was Tony's room.
No, Tony's one was if you go up to the right, like what became the bathroom, eventually the big bathroom.
That's the room I was thinking.
And then Joe and I shared the one that was yours eventually.
Yeah.
And then there was a little room adjacent to there, and that was Louisa's room for a period.
Wow.
Wow. It is interesting. I don't know. I feel like there had to be some sort of grift there from my parents, dude. Like there had to be some money to be made or something. Like I don't really
100%.
I don't know why else they would be like, oh, let's get a foreign exchange
100%.
student.
I mean,
we can really teach this Brazil girl how to be an American in South City.
I didn't think that was debated. I thought it was just assumed that they got money from it.
Yeah, I don't know. I've never really opened up those conversations with
my
them.
cousin could answer that better. Jonathan was on the other end of that. In Spain.
Being but it wasn't like
his family.
It wasn't like a flip flop. Like the kids from their family didn't come to live with his parents, Jonathan's parents, right?
Yeah.
He just went to their house.
Well, either it was yours. It's not like somebody was staying in Brazil.
Yeah, Tony didn't go over to Brazil or nothing crazy.
Fucking crazy, dude.
But that was the thing. Is like Tony was the same age as Louisa, so they went to school.
Were they friends?
They went to school together, and Tony brought her into the circles, and that's what got me.
She got to go to Holy Family.
No, they were in high school. It was St. Elizabeth's. Yeah. But that's what got me to this was they went to that same Backstreet Boys show.
Really? Louisa got to do that?
Yeah.
That's cool.
Yeah, her and Tony got to go to the show. So that's what I said. There must have been some money because they're getting concert tickets, doing all these experiences with the foreign exchange.
I kind of assume you come from a little bit of money if you're a foreign exchange student from Brazil in America.
Well, they're the ones that, the family is the one that pays whatever the people that set up the foreign exchange, and then whatever agency locally sets it up, and they pay out to the family, I'm sure.
What a wild time. I forget, obviously I have vivid memories of it, but I'd never think about it.
It was great. Dude, there was so much happening in that time because that was the same year that the Rams won the Super Bowl, and we went to the History Museum to stand in line and go visit the Lombardi Trophy. We took pictures with it. She was with us, Louisa, our foreign exchange student. So she was in St. Louis when the Rams won the Super Bowl.
And I will always remember that when the Rams won the Super Bowl, Nick Tolarski was having a birthday party that no one attended.
Created forever trauma in that dude's life, probably.
I mean, it's just pretty crazy.
Bad timing, yeah. You know what else I heard recently about a crazy timing thing? So
no, but tell me.
It was either yesterday or the day before was the anniversary of the last episode of Seinfeld. So imagine like the last episode of Friends, everybody gets together, watches it.
Was that 98?
Well, I don't know the years, Xavier.
I'm gonna go 98 to give me 99 and 97.
Should producer Tony look it up?
Look it up.
Look it up, Tony. Look it up, Tony. So that was the last Seinfeld episode was airing, and it was like whatever May. Beep, May 14th, so it was yesterday. 1998. Davey nailed it, shipped it. No big deal.
How are you doing?
So May 14th, 1998 was also another interesting day because that is the same day the chairman of the board died. Frank Sinatra kicked the bucket that day. And then it was noted that old Blue Eyes was able to make it to the hospital in record time because the streets were very, very empty because everybody was home watching Seinfeld finale. Little fun fact for you.
But it's fun, but it didn't
He
matter.
still died. It's true. Apparently, one of his last quotes was, "I'm not doing well." And he goes,
I mean, how far do we? If I'm ever somebody's deathbed, I'm gonna make up some cool ass last words they say because people just people take that because if you have something that people want to believe, it's a lot easier to get that lore started.
Sure.
It's
You'd be on some dude's deathbed. He'd be like, "I regret everything." You'd be like, "No, he was cool. He said I lived the best life."
I do remember my grandma Donna. When she was on her deathbed, and I went in to visit her, and she didn't really curse much.
Yeah.
But I came in there, I was like, "Grandma, it's Nick," and she said, "Where the fuck is Liz?"
Oh hell!
Oh yeah,
that's a good one. Hey, write it down. Lasting memories. Where's Liz?
I'll always remember that. I remember, I thought it was funny, but I was like, "Damn,
that's so good." It is funny. I mean, dude, end of life.
Where's
whatever,
Liz?
Man. It's wild things. So I just thought that was an interesting little tidbit about Seinfeld and empty streets and Sinatra dying. I can't even remember how we kind of landed into that one. We were talking about X, Y, and Z.
And we got the D.
We got to D.
So good National Days.
Good National Days.
Because whatever last week was sucked ass.
Lame days.
It was the National Lame National Day.
Yeah, I agree. I feel like the 15th of any month should be a good day because...
First, 15th, 30th, 31st.
Yeah, those feel like benchmark days of a month.
If you're getting a paycheck that day, it should also be a good National Day.
For sure. For sure. So it was Mother's Day this past weekend. We kind of mentioned it a little bit ago. I don't know. You worked. It was your last day as in your server role before you started training to be a manager this week. So how was Mother's Day? You want to break it down for
great.
the folks?
I got to see my mom. I love you, Mom.
Did she come to you or did you go to her?
She came out to me because I was working all day, gauntlet. But
how many hours?
It was the first table, 13?
13.
Which seems like just an average day now.
Yeah, gosh.
It's crazy what the human mind starts adjusting to.
I guess.
But anyways, that day sucked ass. It was a great time seeing my mom and my family. My mom came in with my two sisters.
Weather was good that day too, which was like a benefit and a curse for you.
And I was on the patio. I mean, money wise, yes, great day.
Right, but you had to earn that money.
But
yeah. How many steps did you have? You had a lot of steps.
Well, that's the thing is because I put my phone on the charger throughout the day too, so I think I had like 36,000. I know I was at 19 miles.
Damn, getting it. Just
because we did 15,000 less in sales than Cinco, which Cinco we did 55,000. Yeah. Mother's Day we did 40,000, but we had less than half the staff of Cinco.
Oh,
so we were running out of everything like salsa. We could not keep enough salsa bowls, so we went on a wait at 10 a.m. We got off the wait at 9 p.m. That's 11 hours of a wait.
Gosh.
And by the end of the night, I just felt like I got hit by a truck.
Yeah, that's
and
tough.
Then I had to wake up at 8. Well, I woke up at like 6:30 the next day. But my first manager shift was at 9 a.m. the next day.
Gosh.
So I got up like, fuck.
Hitting the ground running. No, dude, that's a tough one. When you start getting to the point, like you were saying, where the salsa cups are empty and you got to go and grab you got to fill up one each time there's a new table.
And you have to go you know how far the kitchen is from the patio there.
It becomes such a compounding effect.
Oh, my God, dude. No, that's just like, it got to like 9:30. When we were getting up, and there's just me and this other guy there, Josh Forbes, on the patio, and he's like, how do you want to do it? And I said, how about this? You take every table until you can't handle it, and I'll close the patio down. I'll start closing everything. And he's like, really? I was like, yes. He's like, okay. I was like, thank God. I just didn't have it in me. I had worked 17 hours that Monday for Cinco, so I think I put in like 58 hours this week.
58 hours.
Which is fine. Like, people work 60-hour work weeks. It's just like, but that fast
60 hours at a restaurant is different than 60 hours on a project.
It catches up to you for sure. But I had a good day off today, and
that's good. Good Thursday day off.
KG Elvin say, ain't no rest for the wicked.
Ain't no rest for the wicked. Money don't grow on trees. Whatever he says.
I got bills to pay. I got mouths to feed. Ain't nothing in this world for free.
That's right. Don't forget it.
Very fitting though for what we're talking about.
That's true. That's why I started singing it.
So yeah, but Mother's Day was great. I very thankful for my mom. I think she knows that, but it was awesome.
I am also thankful for your mom. Colleen has been nothing but like another mother to me. I wouldn't have had many of the experiences in my life without her. So I have to be grateful for Colleen as well.
And it was her birthday the week prior to that too. So big good
time of year for her. She gets all the praise.
Yeah, I got a grill sitting at my house right now that me and my siblings, we got her a grill with a smoker on it.
Well, you should give it to her.
Got to get it over to her house.
Can't fit in your car?
It just got dropped off yesterday.
Oh, I see.
Yeah.
That's cool though. I went and saw Mi Madre also on Sunday.
Yeah, happy Mother's Day to Fran.
Yeah, she is my mother. She gave me life. So I went over, gave her a fern. I give her a fern every year.
Fern for Fran.
Fern for Fran.
Is that how you do it?
What?
A fern for Fran?
No, she likes to have a fern on her front porch. I like to give it to her. So I've given her a fern.
That's very sweet.
Probably, let me think. It's like 5 or 6 years, maybe even 7 years in a row now. You know, it's kind of the thing now. So I got her a fern, got her a little card. Do you do cards? Do you ever buy cards for people? I was thinking about that.
No, like if I'm really like, I know one year for my mom, I just wrote her a poem, which is an easy like transition for me from music writing to writing a poem. Yeah. I've done that, and like I think if I ever like do anything sentimental, I'll just write a poem
instead of getting like a card.
Yeah, it means more.
Yeah, it does. I'm not the writer type,
but a card is a good gesture,
and I usually get cards for Mother's Day, birthdays for Jamie and Adrian.
Yeah, you got another mom here now in the house.
Huh? I know, yeah. So we, for Jame and her family, we had them come over on Saturday. We had a little Mother's Day get-together with them at the house, her mom, her sisters, and all that. So that was good. I got her a card and a couple ferns, too, for the house. We always get ferns. And usually between Jamie's birthday in April and Mother's Day, most of her presents is me buying the plants for the house. So I bought all the flowers for the year and the ferns and all that stuff. So those were, well, for the season, you know, we get annual flowers. And $100 on flowers. I mean, you know, not a bunch, not as much as some people spend, but more than nothing.
Well, that's nice. Yes,
that makes the house look. Dude, I have a picture from last year. The flowers lasted all the way till November 24th, and that was how long it was that we didn't get below freezing.
And that's amazing because I house sat before that.
Yeah. And the flowers lasted all the way through.
Well, full disclosure, you left during the hottest fucking week of the year.
It was the hottest week during the year, but what can you do? I didn't time it out like that. Like, they still lived. I mean, it was hot. That's the way they work. They didn't die, so you did good enough.
God.
They'd be droopy sometimes when it gets real hot. That's how it goes.
Yeah, that Saturday I went with my parents and Abby and Sarah and my grandparents to Biggie's, so I got to see my grandma as well, which I do love.
This past Saturday before Mother's Day?
Grandma Pat, so.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh, I felt bad. Dan reached out. They needed a drummer on Sunday for a gig, and I was unable to.
Yeah, he texted me. He said, Bob's a piece of shit.
he said, I played the guy's fucking wedding. He couldn't even be at my fucking gig I needed him for. No.
Yeah, no, we had talked. He was, we talked about your wedding when I saw him Saturdays. I guess still pissed at Mike.
Really?
For getting so fucking high.
Dude, I wish he wouldn't be, because, I mean, it wasn't bad. I didn't care. Nobody cared. Nobody noticed.
That's what I told him. But he said, but I noticed.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Dan.
It's your dad's fault.
Well, a lot of things in life are my dad's fault. That's fine. Hey, you know, Jeff is just supplying the drugs for the party. People didn't have to take them.
Well, and Mike never paid for drugs. Not once. Well, shout out to all the other mothers out there that we have appreciation for, and you are loved.
Yeah, I saw my Aunt Marilyn, who is my godmother, the other day. I usually go down and see her every couple weeks. Brought her some flowers left over from the house, put them in a pot in her yard, so she's got some flowers.
Nice gesture. Speaking of yard work, the same Saturday I saw my grandma.
Mm-hmm.
My landlord came over in the morning because he had texted me and said, neighbor,
do it.
Neighbors complain, your house look like jungle. So I called fan of the show and former host Brendan Butler.
Oh, BB
did me a huge solid because he came over, the landlord came over, they met, and this landlord went all around talking about he wanted the whole bush from the front yard removed? All of the bushes that were overgrowing over the porch, he wanted them completely removed, and then went to the side of the house, which we didn't get to yet. Once all that taken down in the back, he got Brendan's contact and wants him to work on other houses on his property. Jeez. But Brendan sat there and in 6 hours was able to dig out that whole bush that's in my front yard and got rid of all those. And the landlord was pleased, so huge thank you to Brendan.
Very nice. Yeah, that's a lot of work. I have a little different approach. There's definitely the strong arm, just come in, rip it all out approach. I like to be a little more selective. I mean, things that are tall can be trimmed. They don't have to just be taken out. People are like, get rid of her. That's huge.
He wanted it completely removed.
I know. And that's like,
and there's bricks. So like, there was
very
bricks
common.
buried into, like there was like a retaining wall put around this.
Yeah.
So Brendan had to remove all that shit.
Oh boy.
I was very
It's a
appreciative.
lot of work. It's a lot of work.
Yeah, so I did tell the landlord, like, this isn't going to be a one-day project.
I like that. I did tell landlord, not the landlord. I did tell landlord. Like,
yeah, I tell landlord.
I tell landlord.
Well,
especially this guy.
Podcast time for
Mr.
Ray Racy
Asian
joke
man?
or no?
Yeah, of course. Always time.
Because I said to Brendan, I was like, oh, I thought he wanted to feel, because he said house looked like a jungle. I said I wanted him to feel at home when he came home.
Yes.
I thought that was pretty fucking good.
This is how you guys fought so long in the Vietnam War, brother.
We fucking me and Brendan used guerrilla warfare on him when he pulled up.
Hitting him with spitballs.
Oh, shit.
No. That's good. Well, I'm glad that, the jungle is a little bit more tame now.
Dude, it's completely gone.
Yeah, well, that's also not fun.
But I don't like the privacy now. I can't sit on my porch and like be completely hidden.
Just so exposed.
Yes.
Yeah, there's a nice medium. Like, if a bush is big, cut it back. You don't got to take it out. Like, people are so like, take it out. Get rid of it.
Yeah. That's
I don't
what it
know.
was.
I don't know. Not my style. Not my style. But good Mother's Day. Good Mother's Day. We had some different shows in town this week. I don't know. You had the Jelly Roll one with Posty Maloney.
My brother and his girlfriend were there.
Oh, yeah? They're big fans of which one? Post mostly, I'm guessing. Yeah. This was the first time Post been back in St. Louis since he fell into the stage at his last one and broke his ribs at the Enterprise Center. You remember that one?
Yeah, it's such a cringy move.
What do you mean?
Didn't he stage dive and not get caught? Or
No,
he just fell off the stage.
There was like a trap door that hadn't been closed, and he just stepped into it.
Still cringy.
What do you mean cringy?
Awkward. Right?
Yeah, maybe awkward, but it wasn't.
When you're
it wasn't like he went off the side of the stage.
No, I
or
don't blame him
crazy.
for it, but it's still like if that happened to me, like this disaster that happened to my ankle in Cinco de Mayo, like that was an embarrassing moment. Awkward.
Well, sure, but you gotta just you pick yourself up on the bootstraps and you play that fucking show, and he did. He finished that one. He was back in town.
And sometimes it's not embarrassing, and it's just tragic when you get hurt on a national stage in front of millions.
Yeah.
And that, unfortunately, is what happened to St. Louis's own Jayson Tatum.
Ooh, yeah. Jayson Tatum with the tough injury. They say, I guess it's an Achilles is what?
He got surgery on it the next day.
That's crazy.
But
it seemed like he was in much more pain than you see with a typical Achilles injury.
Well, I think a lot of emotion too, because the Celtics
moment.
team, like they championship last year, definitely had championship aspirations this year and next. And in one play, you realize you're snapping your Achilles, which is probably painful, but like the whole realization and your emotions running so high of like, what does this mean for me this year? What does this mean for the team next?
Right.
And nobody hates the Celtics more than this guy.
Nobody hates the Celtics more than that guy.
I feel like I was cheated. Maybe almost as much as Jayson Tatum.
Yeah. You think almost as much?
Because the Knicks were going to win that game regardless. They were up 7 with a minute 55 left.
Yeah.
Like the whole momentum shifted. I'm loving it. I'm into the game, and all of a sudden you hear the whistle, cuts back, and JT is holding his heel, spinning. And I don't know if you saw it or not.
I heard the clip described just how you're describing it, and that's what I'm saying. Like he was,
and all of a sudden, like all my joy
so
was
much
just
more
like,
pain than other Achilles injuries.
I couldn't even be happy. I was like, holy fuck, like that sucks.
Well, yeah, and I think that was the thing. The scene really just hit it hard for a lot of people to watch somebody in that much distress.
And because it gave me flashbacks of something that hit home for me, Aaron Rodgers, that first game with the Jets.
Yeah. And
just like frantically searching Twitter and like, seeing all the experts on there, be like, you could see his muscle.
It springs.
Which, you don't want to see that even for somebody who I've talked a lot of shit on and a team that I've talked a lot of shit on. Like, it just sucks. You don't like to see it.
No, I think most people would, maybe not most, but a lot of people would say that if they're going to beat a team, they want to beat a team in that team's best form. You know, they don't want to feel like they got given anything easily. They want to see the best players. You know, they want to beat the best players. And so I don't think anybody, you know, can see an injury like this and be like, oh,
well, don't say anybody, because there's some fucked up people. I'll tell you, that when scrolling through online, a lot of it was sympathy for JT, who usually the public is like, for whatever reason, they've made Jayson Tatum like the whipping boy, and
the old whipping.
All those people are now like, and given this game, he was at 42 points, I think 8 rebounds, 4 assists, 4 blocks, 2 steals, or maybe 4. Either way, having a legacy game, really just carrying the Celtics, who besides him that game played like shit. And so like having the best game of his playoff career, at least, you know, and it's just like, wow, like how does this happen during this time?
Wow.
But they came in, they went down 3-1, but they came back and won the last game. Mm-hmm. The team's kind of trying to, I guess, maybe rally around them. They are deep. The Celtics are deep, and yeah, they lost their best player, but
right.
I don't know. I guess we'll see.
Only time will tell if they will win.
Yeah.
You don't know that band. You don't know that song.
Well, sorry. I'm still
song.
thinking about the hometown guy, Jayson Tatum. I'm glad you could sing and relish in this moment, but not.
You think I'm relishing because I'm singing? I can sing when I'm happy. I can sing when I'm sad. I can sing when I'm anguished. You never know. Don't judge me.
So
no, I mean, what? Yeah, shouts out to the old Jayson Tatum. Like, you know, injuries suck. I don't wish that kind of injury on anybody. I like Tatum. I want him to have nothing but success because he's a local boy.
No, I don't want that for him.
Well, sure. I want more success for him than you do. But, yeah, like I said, I didn't see the injury, so I don't have a lot to add to it, but I do know.
Besides that he's a Celtic, one thing why I've always just really not liked that Jayson Tatum did is he texted Kobe Bryant.
Yeah.
And said, like, doing this for you. And then he posted it.
A little bit of a show thing. Like, show.
If you want to do that, and but you know, now is not the time, I guess, to
dig in on why I'm not a fan of Tatum sometimes.
No, I really hate that happened. But
I really hate that happened.
But and you know what else I really hate when it happens? We talked about it a lot.
Yeah, we got into what we hate happened last week. A little the pet peeve talk. I had one happen again to me this week. Oof. One of my pet peeves. So one of the ones I mentioned was about like when you go to a food place to get your order and they say, "Oh yeah, it'll only be a couple more minutes." They clearly haven't started it yet. Gosh, I was at a jam the other night. That I go to this bass player's dude's house that I know. Me, him, and a guitar player get together and we've been working on some music. Anyhow, I ordered a pizza from Emo's, you know, as one is off to do when they're hungry. And so I ordered this pizza from Emo's in O'Fallon, Illinois. It's a little drive-through pickup window. I pull up. I order it at 9:05. I pull up at 9:32. So they've had a good 28 minutes to make this pizza at this
27,
point.
Go on.
I don't know how to math. So they had plenty of time to make this pizza. I pull up to the window. Say, I'm picking up this pizza. They're like, "Oh yeah, all right." And then they give me the thing. I sign it. I hand it back. They're like, "It'll be out in just a couple minutes. Do you mind, pulling to the front of the restaurant for us? We've got a couple orders at the end here that have been putting us behind or whatever." I'm like, "Sure." 20 minutes goes by, and they bring me this pizza out. I'm like, "You gotta be fucking me right now. You didn't." It takes 20 minutes to make a pizza from scratch and cook it and put it in a box. Like, I've worked at a pizza place. I know it only takes 8 minutes in the oven to make that pizza. So they clearly didn't start this pizza until I got there. Not a fan. Fucking example of one of my pet peeves just this week.
Yeah, no, that actually doesn't bother me that as much because
just be honest with me. Don't fucking
always
say
a
it's not to be
podcast
out.
I can just sit and listen to and have some peace to myself.
Yeah, but still, just don't lie to me. Don't lie to me.
Now, I was given feedback, and we believe in honesty in media, and usually when I'm getting pushback, I'll admit it. But all the feedback I got, people were on my side about if you're stopped in not making a fucking right turn, you are a piece of shit, and you are a problem.
Even if it's straight lane. I'm just so confused by that.
Yes.
He said, yes.
Yeah, because be more aware. People behind you might have to make a right turn.
Yeah, but what if there's all these cars already in the left-hand turn? Should I just make an effort to be like, oh shit, I need to get over this guy behind me and I need to get a right turn?
You should be long plotting this out.
I don't know.
Your dad drove for how long? You know that he's probably knows his routes and all this shit. You don't think this stuff is kind of programmed in his mind to know the etiquettes of the road?
Yeah, but I don't think happen to be caught at a stoplight that you're going to go straight, but somebody needs to make a right behind you counts.
You sound like a right lane straight guy. You sound like a kind of guy who'd be in the left lane, see somebody with their blinker behind you, and you swerve over last minute just to make them wait. Dude, that's what you're sounding like.
No way I would never do that. But I like the way you think.
I don't like the cut of your jib in this moment.
No, I mean, I wouldn't do that. I wouldn't get my jollies out of it. But like, look, here's the deal. If I get caught in the right lane and I do see the person behind me has a blinker on, they want to make a right-hand turn, I try to make sure there's enough room that they could get to the side of me and squeeze through and make that right turn, you know?
But everyone I did talk about, we all were agreeing, and I even said this earlier, like, great pick was the ambulance etiquette.
Dude, so bad.
It was,
so much.
But everybody also did agree with it. And people agreed with a lot of ours. Like,
yeah. But that's a bad one. I mean, so bad. It frustrates me to no end. Like, you basically are just trying to say you're so much more important than whatever emergency is going on there and everybody else that's driving around the emergency vehicle.
Yeah.
Like, super main character syndrome. Like, fuck yourself, you know?
But is there anything else we got? Because we're going to try to spin a little more positive of a vibe this week.
Yeah.
With the Mount
this
Rushmore.
week's Mount Rushmore a little bit.
But have we covered all the other bases that we want to touch on?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, I was mentioning last week I was going to play in Troy. So you talked about Brendan. I was out in Brendan's neck of the woods on Friday this past weekend. It hit that Troy.
Oh, you were there again?
Honky tonk again. Yep. It was a good gig. We had the banjo player with us this time with the fiddle player. It was a good time. Yeah, everybody had a good time. They said it was one of the better Friday nights they'd had in a long time.
Oh, really?
So, yeah.
So you brought a crowd?
Sure. I brought a crowd, yes.
Well, you were giving autographs and kissing babies last time when I was there.
Well, don't tell people. I like to keep a low profile. You know, I don't like to usually go out and flash my celeb status.
And especially
with this podcast and everything, you know, it's hard to keep them off.
The greater metropolitan area of Troy, Missouri.
Yeah. I mean, you know, we're sponsored by some great people at the Hatched, and Busch Light will be a sponsor before they know it.
I love that. Busch Light and Hatched?
Dude, A1 sponsors. They don't even know, but they're
I
our
could
best
have Busch Light and Hatched every day and be content.
We'd probably live a pretty long life, honestly.
Hell yeah, brother.
Purely out of happiness.
But speaking of positives, and you know, we had such a negative dark cloud, and I know sometimes people like that, and they like to hear our gears being grinded.
Yeah,
this week I thought, like, what's the opposite kind of a pet peeve? And I was like, small victories. Mm-hmm. You know, there's small victories that we all have in life. The opposite effect, something that happens that can change the trajectory of your day in the better.
Yeah, for sure.
So that's what I thought we could do this week.
So we're going to do the Mount Rushmore of small victories one might come into today. So we're going to, I guess we'll do it draft style as we've been one to do in the last bunch of weeks. I got the old coin flipper. One side says The Office, the other side is blank. I will flip it, and you will call it in the air. Xavier, ready?
All right. Blank.
It landed on The Office. So, let me think here.
I wanted the 1-1.
You wanted the A1. I don't think our A1s will cross.
Really?
I don't. But I could be wrong.
Well, if you don't think we'll cross, because I think there is an obvious one, so I'm glad I'll get the back-to-back pick.
I don't think that. No, I'm going to defer, because I won back-to-back. I just kind of like it that way. So, yeah, go ahead. Go ahead with your A1.
Okay, well, I think the number one small victory is when you put on a pair of pants or a jacket and you reach into your pocket and you discover money.
Chicken nugget? Oh, money. Yeah, not
like
chicken
20,
nuggets.
50. Matter of fact, last week I had this happen. I was in my bottom drawer of my dresser pulling out some dress pants, you know.
Some slacks.
Just trying to, and there was over $100 just chilling.
Shit.
Yes.
Oh my God. I don't think I've ever found that much money just chilling in the pocket. I think
I don't
20
know
is
how
the most.
long I'd have put that there.
That's great. You stored it away like a squirrel hiding nuts,
Which,
dude.
and that is what got me on the line of thinking, like, what a small victory. Like
You
nothing.
said, yes, this is a come up, dude.
Yeah, hell yeah, it was. Like, I got gas with that, dinner with that.
He said, I didn't.
All these things I was
you
already
weren't
going to
expecting.
have to do was just paid for that day.
Yeah, that's nice. A little free day, essentially.
I was like, why the fuck did I put this down here?
That's good. And some random pair of pants that you haven't worn in, I guess, however long the money.
No, it wasn't even in the pair of pants. It was like, I just put it in that dresser drawer, but I haven't touched
You
that drawer.
just stowing money away in your drawers? Yeah,
Yeah.
dude, you are hiding money away like a squirrel with nuts. Just tucking it in random
So
places.
I was like, this has to be like, even if you find a 10 in your, like, it feels like a small victory.
No, big time.
So that, like, to me, that's
what
why
I'm saying. I think 20 is the most I've ever
you didn't
found
think that
in a
was like,
pocket.
that didn't come to your mind though, small victories?
Not necessarily, but I think it's a great one. No, I hadn't thought of that, but I do agree it is a great small victory. But along the same lines, my first pick was probably going to be having exact change when that total comes up. Say I'm at Quick Trip and I just happen to have a few coins in my pocket or whatever.
Oh yeah.
And they're like, "Oh, it's whatever, 22.22." You're like, "Oh shit, I got that right here." Boom, boom, boom. Get out of there. No other little change to fiddle with. No other circumstances. It's a small victory.
It's a very small victory, but it fits the niche.
It feels good.
Like, my victories in my mind are a little bigger than that, but like that is the definition of a small victory.
It's a small victory. And, because it's not like I was planning for it, but it kind of worked out. You're like, oh, hot damn. Things are working out in my favor today. I got that kind of change in my pocket right here.
I only
don't
have
know.
4 in my mind, too, so I hope none of ours cross over.
Yeah, I hadn't even thought too deeply about them, so I'm going to have to come up with some on the spot, likely. So, yeah, me second small victory.
He's really thinking of them on the spot.
I really am. I think the second one that comes to mind is I mean, this is the one that like can really set the tone for the day. It's like when you wake up and you just feel so well rested.
That is good.
Like that's an amazing small victory because you're like, yes, that was a restful night of sleep. I'm feeling so refreshed and relaxed and ready to just attack this day. So I'd have to say that waking up feeling well rested is an excellent small victory.
I agree. I think I get that once a week, and it's not today.
Today?
It was Tuesday.
Not that day.
Like, I did not get good sleep the day after Mother's Day. I woke up, but then that Monday night, I was in such zombie mode.
Sleep.
Yeah, Monday night going into Tuesday, I woke up and I was like, like just
sound like
ready
Blue's
to.
Clues?
Yes, I was ready to take on the fucking world.
Nice.
And then it's like usually a 5-day cycle of slowly just,
Proceeding.
yeah.
To the depths of not sleeping.
But that is a great small victory, and it's
That's
so
excellent.
relatable to me right now.
It starts up the day just on a great foot.
When like you just feel immediately like,
Those are the days that I will make the bed like instantaneously when I wake up. The other days it might take me a few hours or like I'll make the bed later in the day. But I still do make the bed every day because that's it's an honorable mention of a small victory.
and those days are the days too where it's like my wit fully there. I'm not like, I always will be nice to strangers or stuff like Walgreens lady and stuff, but
Walgreens lady and stuff.
Yes, but like
I know what you're saying. I just like
when I want to be like on those days where I'm well rested, I'll initiate that. I'm like, how's your day going? This and that.
Mm-hmm.
Usually it's like when I'm on day 3 of just feeling,
I feel that.
I'm like, good. How are you? Like, hope everything's going well. I'll still try to be genuine, but it's like, it's taking more effort. But those nights of good sleep, everything's just, gosh, clicking on all cylinders. It's like an offense
let's have a great talk here. Yeah.
it's like a baseball team. Everything they do is like, man, hit after hit after hit. Like, it feels like that.
For sure.
Well, my pick.
So you get 2
picks in a row.
double Z's.
Now, my first pick will be when your boss calls you and says, why don't you take the day off?
What? I don't think I've
Take
ever
the
had
day
that
off.
happen.
Or if you call them and say, hey, like, if you call, there's that anxiety leading on for like calling off, but you don't call off, you call them
Yeah.
and say, like, I'm not feeling well. Like, how are we looking? They're like, actually, we're pretty caught up right now. Like, why don't you just stay home? And then you get that day off and get to rest. Or like, even when I was in the carpenter union, like, or landscaping, and
the
you
rain
do not
shower,
want to
yeah.
work, and you wake up and it's just pouring fucking rain. Like, oh my God.
It's
I
like
don't know
the opposite of CYC days. You'd wake up and see the rain and say, no game today.
Yeah.
Wake up and say, yes.
Yes, when I was landscaping.
No, that's a major victory. I don't even think that's a little one. That's
And
a
not
major
small,
victory.
so
dude.
should I get a new one then?
No, I'm kidding. It's
I
your
think
choice.
it is like God.
It's a major
like,
victory, though. It's a big come up.
well,
But you're not getting money for the day, so it's probably a little victory then. A little
Yeah.
victory.
it's just like that guilt-free day off. Not like when you call in sick and you
Yeah.
can tell like your boss is like, are you like
I needed you.
fuck, like we'll figure it out. That's a bad one because now you're off like you wanted, but that it's like in your head all day.
Yeah.
But when your boss is cool, basically with you taking the day off,
Which is worse hearing, we'll figure it out from your boss or from like your parents or somebody that you love.
boss,
Dang.
because that
Like, if you
unconditional
call it-
love is not there. Like with my parents, I know it sucks to disappoint them.
They call and they say, hey, we need help with X, Y, and Z. You say, I can't do it. And they'll say, all right, well, we'll figure it out, I guess.
I don't think I feel like if my parents call me and need something, I try my best to figure that out. For
I
them.
know. I'm just trying to make
My
an
parents are
example
pretty
here.
understanding people.
Usually. More than mine.
Yeah, like I still do feel guilty, but they like usually ease that guilt.
Yeah.
Number 3 is when you're in an argument with your significant other, and then they apologize first. They come to you and say,
That's a small victory for you.
"It's a small victory because I
Do you feel like you've been vindicated then?
yes."
He said, yes.
Yeah, like you're all like mad. You get the space. You're taking your time, and they come in. I'm sorry, that was fucked up. Or
He said, yes.
it is a small victory because, like, you know, that's maybe. And I don't want to be sexist. We've been thrown some sexist allegations, some Mount Rushmores. I feel like 80% of the time, the guy has to, whether he's in the right or the wrong, has to just.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
I'll do better.
So when your partner comes to you and says, "I'm sorry," like that, this is on me. Like, God, I'm like, yes.
Well, I'm glad this feels like a small victory to you because I don't feel like that is the same way for some women. If you come to them and you say, I'm sorry, they don't feel like it's a victory at all sometimes.
Well, that's why I'm saying I feel like a small victory. Like for me personally, like that. There's got to be somebody listening right now that'll be like, "Yeah, that's a good victory."
Another guy would probably be like, dun, da, da, da.
Like when you leave, the last thing you guys said, things were so tense, and you're like, "Fuck it, I'm gonna sit in here and watch the Lakers game or whatever," and you get a text or even just come in person and say, "Will you?"
I fucked up.
Yes. Come on, that's not relatable.
I mean, it is. Definitely hadn't crossed my mind.
Well,
Definitely
maybe.
hadn't crossed my mind.
Okay, percentage of time in your relationship that you say sorry first.
Probably 63% of the time.
Geez, that's specific.
Well,
And you don't
asked.
feel good the 37% of the time it's not you?
No, because I know that I was in the right.
Well, Jesus. Okay, but from a non-narcissistic perspective.
Well, no, I still don't feel like it's a victory because it's not like a game. I'm not trying
Not
to
a
like.
game, but it's a victory in the sense of like, okay, like this tension is eased. I
was, yeah, like, I mean, maybe in the sense of being like, okay, yeah, I was, you know, again, it feels like you being like, yeah, I was right. They apologized to me.
guess maybe
So
I'm
you do
just-
feel like a victory, like, yeah, I was the right one.
maybe that says something about me. Maybe it says that I cave too quickly a lot of times. I don't know.
So when you don't and they apologize, then you're like, yeah.
I can't stand tension, like especially when I'm in a relationship with somebody. Like,
I mean, I get what you're saying, and I'm usually,
but it's not like in my head. I'm not playing a game when this happens.
Well, yeah, and I'm usually on your side of like, hey, there's obviously some tension here. Let's fucking figure it out.
That's a fucking good pick, and people will agree with that.
And people will agree with that.
All right, go ahead.
All right, I'll go ahead. So what did I have already? I had
Exact change.
and I also had waking up feeling well rested. Those are both solid. So for my third pick, small victories. For my third pick, For my third pick, I think I'm gonna go with when you order food, we'll say.
Oh no. I'm gonna have to start getting the wheels turned. Go ahead.
Yeah. Little victory. You order some food, and then you get back to wherever it is you're going to eat that food, and you got that little extra something in there sometimes.
Oh, damn. No, not my exact
like the 11th nugget and 10 chicken nugget meal.
That is a good pick.
Or, some curly fries thrown in with your regular fries. Like that's a real small victory that I kind of get. I'm like, yeah, thanks. Good looking out. Instead of those 3 mozzarella sticks, I got 4 or something silly like that. Like that. That's a come up for me. I'm feeling
That is a good pick. That's a good pick. You're really hitting the very niche, small victory. No, it's good.
You asked, brother. Small victory. I feel like a day off work's a big victory. That's So okay, all right. So I get my last pick here.
No, see, for me, big victory is like the Jets win the fucking Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
But my emotional scale is gigantic.
Yeah.
Like, so small for me, like, is like a 25% scale.
Yep. Yep. Yeah, small victories. Small victories. This one's a little more, I guess, self-absorbed. But I think it's a small victory for me when I drive down my street and my front yard or whole house looks the best on the block. I enjoy
keeping up with the Joneses.
No. Leading the Joneses.
You are the Joneses.
I am the Joneses. Yeah. That's a small victory.
Fuck your couch.
That's a suburban life for you, buddy. You gotta,
Jesus Christ,
set the standard for the block.
Oh man,
whoever thought?
I cannot relate.
I mean, even if no matter where I live, I feel like I just am in a place now where I have that sense of pride that I want my stuff to stand out above everybody else's around me.
My dick's much bigger than yours.
Yeah, and everybody should know.
Well, my last pick is also fast food or order related, but it's like, say you have over a $40 purchase at a fast food place. The line's busy.
Over a $40 fast food purchase. The line's busy.
You do not check it.
And you do not check. Like you pull off with your big order.
Yeah, and you're like, this is a dangerous game you're playing, but you get home and they nail the order spot on.
That's a good one for sure.
Like, because there is that anxiety
along
of like
the same line as mine.
Yeah,
mine's
that's
when
why
you get the little above and beyond.
Yes, but that's what. But that could be even if you order just for yourself. I'm talking about when
there's
a big chance that you fucked up. Like
this is going to be all messed
up.
You
take an order for 5 or more
2 crave
people.
cases.
Yes.
One of them with ghost pepper cheese.
Yeah, exactly.
You get home and don't have no cheese.
Yeah, so like especially if you go to the Taco Bell anywhere in the city, and you make an order of $30 or more, and there's some, people say, refried beans on this, no whatever on this, and they nail it.
Yeah,
it feels like fuck yeah, like this is gonna be a good night.
We're locked in with the fast food order.
Yes, they nailed our order.
Hell yeah.
Like, and so I don't know, that I feel like definitely fits the theme a little more in the way you were saying. But I do feel like...
Nah, it's a small victory when I get that free little extra.
Do you feel like what I just said is a small victory?
Yeah, but I mean, what's that say about our society's standards? It's like, if they just get your order right, you're like, yeah, woo!
Yeah, especially because, like, a lot of times you want to check it. But, like, at least for me, if there's, like, 4 people behind me, I'm like, oh, like, I don't want to be, like, the guy sitting there, like, rummaging through the bag. Like,
I can't even tell you, I guess, the last time that I've had a big order where it's been over $25. I've had, the 3 of us, McDonald's would be $20 for the 3 of us in this house. But anytime I've had an order over that, I can't think of the last time. So it's hard for me to think about, I guess the satisfaction of a big order being nailed. But I tell you what, I'm sure satisfied when I get that extra chicken ring or whatever. That's feeling good.
Yeah, I mean, there's so many, like, good small victories. I'm trying to think, like, those are things that usually come up. Like, it's hard to think on the spot, or when they happen, they happen.
Big time. Yeah, and I try to make note of them when you, like you said, small victory, and you feel like, man, that was great. Dude, I think one for me, honorable mention, getting a good green light sequence, being able to like hit a solid run of no red lights
or highway, no traffic.
Yeah.
I drove out here today, 270, small victory, did not hit a lick of traffic.
Ooh, felt real good about that.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Be able to be peaceful.
But that's in the same venture of hitting nothing but green lights.
Yeah,
Never happens to my dad because he carries a negative. He carries a negative cloud and manifests these terrible things.
The vibes from the light, they know they can pick up on his negative aura, and they're like, "Oh, red lights for Bill."
I'm telling you, there's something to it. When you expect negative things and you really hone in on them, like that is going to keep happening.
Yeah, it's always a little odd that sometimes that's kind of the case.
But it's the same way. Like if you wake up in a good mood, good night's sleep, like those days, if you notice, take note. Things start happening.
Yep.
Like you're putting out the energy and it's coming back to you tenfold.
That's why that was my second pick. You know, waking up feeling well rested is like a major victory.
Oh, I got a good small victory.
Is it an honorable mention or is it going to replace one of yours?
Yeah, no more replacements.
Okay.
So whether you're listening to the radio or you're in shuffle in that right song, like the song comes on that really fits the vibe and everybody's like, fuck yeah.
That's definitely a good small one. Like it's small, but it definitely hits great in that moment.
When a song comes on and you're not even thinking of it and it just hits and like the whole, like maybe it's just you or maybe like the vibe of the who you're with that night hits and everybody stops what they're doing and sings to the song. It just seems like a small victory. You weren't planning on it, but it changes the whole vibe of the night. It can, or your day. You're driving to work and maybe you hear that one song that like lifts your spirits up. Like, I think it's a small victory.
I agree. So, on the same lines of, you know, the right song coming up, I'll tell you now that we're in late spring, early summer kind of period, you know, warmer days, more riding around with the windows down for me. When's the last time you think you've ridden around with the windows down and the system up, you know, screaming, I don't give a fuck, doing circles, whatever Eminem says? No.
I do, like, I will go windows down if I'm not on the highway.
Yeah. But will you go radio? Like, when's the last time you rode radio up, windows down?
I go AirPods in.
Oh, come on.
I don't have a
that's right. That's right. Your car's got.
Yeah.
But would you, if let's, you know, forget about the radio not working correctly. If your radio was working correctly, would you be windows down, radio cranked?
Always. Unless I'm pulling up to a house.
Okay, well, sure.
Or if I'm at a stoplight, turn down a little bit.
Even at a stoplight, you think?
Depends on the vibe, dude. Come on. Sometimes, look, but I am definitely a known music blarer.
Yeah.
I feel like music is listened, like, you want to find, like, music's all mastered differently, but, you know, you want to find to where how loud you can get it without it deteriorating the sound quality.
Yeah.
And
most of them shouldn't unless you're listening through YouTube. The sound, the quality degrades.
But I think music's better loud.
There's something to it. It makes, I mean, because music is vibrations. Vibrations are through the air, and the louder you push the sound of the music, the more true vibrations you'll get, and it connects to you in a different kind of way. But anyway, I was, you know, riding around that way a few times this weekend, you know, pumping some old tunes, some Metallica that I hadn't listened to. It was like you said, I was riding and a song popped up that I wasn't even thinking about. It was Blackened from Metallica, right? Blackened.
Yeah.
So I got the radio cranked and that beginning is like fading in. I got the goosebumps. Like my arms, like, brother, it was hitting right.
I get goosebumps once a week from songs.
That's good. I wonder how often these kids are riding around with music blasting windows down. Like, is that something that is like an older generation thing, or do you think the kids are still doing that?
Not enough. The music's not good enough anymore.
It's not riding around music.
No. I mean, there's definitely different vibes. Like, for instance, when Brennan was doing yard work, I played Garage Days because I just think that, like, that, for me, is my favorite cover album. Brennan disagrees. I think he said Pop Goes Punk Volume 6. But, like, if the song matches the vibe, I want it heard as loud as possible. I want my neighbors to know what I'm listening to. You know what I mean?
The neighbors even know what I'm listening to.
You a Garage Days fan?
Yeah, that's fine.
Whoa.
I mean, I haven't put it on in eons, but it's fine.
Now imagine Whiskey in a Jar comes on and you're not expecting...
Whiskey in a Jar. Yeah.
But yeah, I really don't think there's anything like it. It's like Nature's Heroine. Good music.
Yeah.
Just like immediately that rush, the goosebumps, like you said.
Yeah.
I don't think really like much things in life can replicate that. Maybe somebody you have a crush on admits they have feelings to you that can bring up similar feelings, but not as consistently. That goes away. You know what I mean?
That comes and goes.
Good songs, they will always give you that same feeling if you wait enough.
No, I agree with that. I do wonder, like I said, about if the kids still roll around blaring music with the windows down. That's all.
You don't
I
hear
miss
it.
those days. I don't. And I think, I want to roll up to a stop sign and have somebody blaring their stuff next to me, like, you damn hooligans. I'll smile a little bit, like, yeah, do it.
Because it's good vibes. There's times where you might pull up on somebody and you see them really enjoying music and it just puts a smile on your face. Like they're singing, nothing in the world around them is existing except for like they're just in the zone of that song. That's such a good ass feeling.
Yeah. Yeah. I agree. It's a nice.
Well, okay. Next week's Mount Rushmore, and maybe this will be on it, will be like nature's euphoric feelings. No drugs, no alcohol, just that euphoric feeling. That goosebumps, right?
Yeah, I'll have to think on that. I'm glad that
not
you
even euphoric. Just what things in life for good, those goosebump enticing moments.
I'll tell you a little preview. There's like, if sometimes when I grab, but not even me, if I see somebody like flipping the pages of a nice book, like the way that their fingers make that sound on a page of a book for whatever reason, there's something about that sound that can activate the goosebumps. Yeah, it's the weirdest little thing. But yeah, I'll do some digging under my soul on that one.
Goosebump enticing moments.
Yeah, we can jump into that for our Mount Rushmore next week, I think, because that'd be good.
Yeah.
But I'll have to, like I said, I got to think on that more because doing the one today off the top of the dome, I didn't know. But I feel like I liked my small victories. They were good.
We can go negative next week too if you want.
No,
People like when we're fucking down in our goddamn. People like when we're in the dumps. They said, let them have it.
Yeah, people they just want to be able to lament a little bit.
They want to hear me telling people descriptive instructions on how to do terrible things.
Inflict permanent damage. Scar the children. No, dude, not great. Not great.
What a wide variety of topics that we could touch on.
We don't need to go down that road.
Yeah.
So, anything exciting going on this weekend you're looking forward to? We got the PGA. Something happening. Big
Scottie Scheffler going to win.
Scotty's on the top of the board.
Always is. He is right now?
I don't know. Nobody knows for sure.
It started today, I guess.
Yeah, today's Thursday, so their first round would be today. I don't know.
I got a volleyball tournament Saturday that I'm looking forward to. All you can eat, all you can drink. I get to play with my brother. I get a Saturday off.
Oh, Saturday off. Yeah, nice. Is it sand volleyball or regular volleyball?
And I did not expect it because my brother had texted me a couple weeks ago asking if I was like, I doubt it because I had to take last Saturday off.
Yeah.
So then I was just naturally given a Saturday off, and I was small victory.
Dick.
Right?
Are you going to have every Saturday off? Your
I
schedule's
doubt
going
that.
to change every week?
I doubt that I should count on that.
Yeah.
But by God, if I did.
By God. By God. So that's good. Good Saturday. I got a busy weekend of gigs. 2 gigs Friday. One downtown. There's a little street party called City Social going on.
Woo!
Heydays will be
social?
City Social. It's on Washington Avenue at 14th Street, right by the City Museum, kind of.
Mm-hmm. My old stomping grounds.
Yeah, we'll be playing a little half an hour set down there, and then I'll be playing with the country band on St. Charles Main Street, Honky Tonk.
Oh, that's a haul.
I guess from
all
downtown.
Down 70.
Yeah, it'd take 25 minutes to get from downtown to St. Charles abouts. And so doing that Saturday, and then Friday is doing that. Saturday is the Heydays at Chase Park Plaza, the Chase Club. Saturday, we are playing from 8 till midnight.
Where at?
The Chase Club. It's at the Chase Park Plaza, right by Forest Park. It's like the hotel bar for the Chase Park Plaza there.
Well, like I said, I'm off Saturday. That's why my wheels are turning. I probably will be under
Wheels
the influence.
in your head keep on turning. I don't know where I'll be tomorrow. So, yeah, that's what I got.
I don't know where I'll be tomorrow.
Get it, Steve?
Yeah.
Steve Perry, for those that are asking. That's good. So I'm looking forward to those things. Before we get out of here, a couple things I wanted to run by you. I had kind of I got this nice Am I the A-hole pulled up, and I thought I would read through it and see what you think. So I guess I'll give you the title here. Am I the asshole for refusing to wash a huge pile of dishes at my friend with benefits house? Anything to say from the title? Like if you just hear the title.
Onward.
All right. I stayed over at my friend with benefits house, and in the morning, I woke up to him in the kitchen making breakfast and cooking dinner.
So she is. They don't say like female 24.
Correct. It does not give those details.
Those are important
You just have
context.
to. They dropped the ball right
But
in this
go
up.
on, go on. I'm listening.
So yeah, I woke up to him in the kitchen making breakfast and cooking dinner for himself and his kids. He has them later today.
Oh.
The breakfast, quote unquote, was pasta and bologna warmed up from previous nights.
Okay, keep going.
After cooking, he said something along the lines of, "Since I've done all this, can you wash up the plates?" The thing is, the dishes were a massive pile, stuff left behind by him and other people staying at the house over time. None of it was mine. What bothered me the most was how he positioned it, as if he'd done something special for me, and now I owed him something in return. I pointed out that he wasn't cooking for me. The dinner was for his kids, himself, and breakfast was leftovers. I told him not to frame it like he did all this for me when that wasn't the case. If he just said, "Hey, since you've got the day off, could you help me with the dishes?" I might have actually considered helping, but the way he framed it rubbed me the wrong way. He then started calling me a whiny bitch, etc. For what it's worth, I would expect somebody to wash dishes. I would never expect. So, okay, hold on, here we go.
Jesus.
In van, 2, 1. For what it's worth, I would never expect somebody to wash dishes in my house, especially not a guest, especially not messes they didn't make. So, am I the asshole for pushing back?
You're not the asshole for pushing back. You're the asshole for clearly like stating this online and knowing you're not the asshole. Like you just want
looking for that validation.
Yeah, like you're the asshole for a lot of reasons, and that's not one of them. But I assume she knows that. Now, I don't know what kind of life choices you're making, that you're at a guy's house who doesn't have the dishes done, father
he's making
of
pasta and
more
bologna.
than one, it sounds, and he's heating up leftovers of pasta and bologna.
Pasta and bologna.
Now, I don't know what kind of fucking dick this dude's slinging or what else is going on. Like, I can't speak on what has led you to even be with this man, because it sounds like he had more dishes in the sink than what was from the previous night, correct?
That's kind of the way, it was worded to me.
And
she said
the
it was
night
a pile
before
of
was
dishes.
pasta and bologna? Or
I
just
guess.
leftovers from previously during the week?
Yeah, that's what it sounds like. Breakfast was pasta and bologna warmed up from previous nights.
Yes. Okay, I'll answer this. Yes, you are the asshole. Not for not doing the dishes. You're the asshole for being there in this situation, because if you're with a man like this and spending the night and even questioning if you're the asshole, like, yes, you are.
might be an asshole.
You are also an asshole, because like, what else, like, if you're putting up with this kind of shit and you're going over to this man's house whose ideal breakfast for his kids is leftover pasta and bologna and a dish full of like, yeah. What kind of life choices have you made to lead you there?
Yeah, you got a man making pasta and bologna for breakfast, and,
So, yeah.
and you're wondering if you're the asshole for not making dishes.
You are the asshole.
But it's not for the dishes.
That'd be like saying, "Am I a good guy? This 80-year-old woman was crossing the street with 2 big bags of groceries, and I went and helped her. Am I a good guy?" Like, it's the same. Yes, you are an asshole for being in this situation, like, as he is, but you are the company you keep.
True.
And if you need to go on Reddit for validation, did you read this out after you typed it and think that there's a scenario where people are going to be like, yeah, that is kind of a bitch move? No. You did this
because she wanted people to say, "No, you're not the asshole."
And these kind of insecurities are probably why you are with a guy who's such a low life in the first place.
Yeah. I still just am very confused.
I do really like this segment, and I hope we can include it.
Yeah, I'm going to have to, I'll
I like
scour.
more on the cusp ones, because, like, this is like
such an obvious.
This is just like you are literally seeking validation.
Right. I mean, I understand what you're saying. Like, it's totally like.
Am I the asshole? I've met someone at work and I've been cheating on her while my wife takes care of the 4 kids at the house, but I've been lying to her and say work's really busy. Am I the asshole?
I just need to know.
Or no, it would be almost saying like, I'm a wife, I'm a mother of 4, and my husband's been at work and I found several instances of him cheating with his secretary. Am I the asshole for bringing it up to him? Like, shut the fuck up. Like,
Shut the fuck up.
You know it. Like, he's making bologna and noodles with a fucking sink full of dishes and asking you to do them. In no world is anybody going to see that and think you're not, like, what? Why are you?
They just need that validation.
So what's your opinion?
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, I can agree with what you're saying. She is not an asshole because she refused to do the dishes, but she might be an asshole because she felt the need to seek outside advice about it when it's like very clear that you should probably just be like, no, I'm not doing your fucking dishes and never talk to the guy again, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I did you something by making my kids leftover pasta and bologna.
Yeah. It sounds like she kind of I think she's got feelings for this friends with benefits because she's like,
I forgot there's not even a relationship.
Yeah. This is friends with benefits.
What? Come on, bitch. Matter of fact, I'm more team this guy now.
You said, you know what? Get there. Do them dishes.
And what has she done? Like, I want to know what she's done to make him feel like that is okay. Like, first of all, this guy, piece of shit. Her, probably piece of shit. Like, if you have feelings for a guy like that, not piece of shit. She's probably not a piece of shit, but she has issues she has to work through.
Used to be a piece of shit.
I'm not saying she's a piece of shit, but she definitely has issues, especially if she's going on Reddit for validation. And, you know, maybe I feel sorry for her as I talk through this.
Maybe feel a little sorry.
Like, because she's very low self-esteem.
Yeah, she probably would eat pasta and bologna for breakfast.
I mean, god damn. And he didn't even offer you any pasta or bologna.
He just wanted you to do the dishes. That's funny.
This is a great segment.
There was also from the world of Reddit, there was a question asked I kind of thought was interesting. Like, what did your take on it?
Okay.
Who is the celebrity who did horrible stuff when they were alive, but are praised like saints now that they are dead?
Jim Brown.
Jim Brown, all-time running back.
Yeah.
Also, his brother, James Brown. No, not brothers.
No.
But also brothers in being pieces of shit. James Brown, notorious piece of shit.
But Jim Brown or Muhammad Gandhi.
Gandhi was a piece of shit?
Well, hold on. The Dalai Lama, actually. The Dalai Lama.
The Dalai Lama
Sorry,
was a
Gandhi.
piece of shit?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure one of those two, like, literally just had, like, little kids massaging them and shit.
Oh,
Look it up.
Tony? Producer Tony, look it up.
I think it was the Dalai Lama. Look up Dalai Lama pedophile.
I don't know what kind of search results I'm going to start
Jim
getting.
Brown literally, like, would beat the shit out of his wife and, like, several times.
Yeah,
And, like,
James Brown, same kind of way.
notorious asshole, but, like, they're celebrated and held in high regard.
Yeah, I mean, right.
Like, and I'm not saying piece of shit. Like, adultery, I'm not saying you're a piece of shit. Like, just not, like, I separate, like, being a bad husband or wife from being a bad person.
Right.
But when you're physically assaulting.
Oh.
Am I right?
I don't know.
See? What are you finding, Tony?
The first couple headlines are suck my tongue and crush my balls.
Whoa.
Tongue-sucking behavior violates...
The Dalai Lama, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, he had little
Dalai
kids.
Lama's tongue-sucking behavior.
Yeah, he had these little kids sucking his tongue, bro.
Oh, no. That's, yeah. All right.
That was a great answer, I think, off the cuff.
Dalai Lama, celebrity. Well, he's not dead yet, though, is he?
He's not?
I don't know.
He should be.
Yeah. With tongue-sucking behavior, I'd say so.
Yeah, he had these little kids sucking his tongue.
Oh, no.
But he's held as, like, this... Like,
well, here you go. Here's Vice News from 2 years ago. It says he apologized for it. So that's good.
Never mind. Scratch that.
That's good. He apologized for it.
Is it too late now to say sorry?
It's too late to apologize.
Dalai Lama pervert.
Yep.
Right? Isn't he, like, held as, like, the whole... Like, isn't his nickname, like, holiness? I'm sorry to Muhammad Gandhi for that slander. But I think he's probably racist. Look it up. Gandhi racist.
Yeah, I mean, maybe. Some of the other ones I mentioned were like Coco Chanel.
Nobody said Dalai Lama on this Reddit.
Well, I haven't. I mean, I haven't.
Is he still alive?
I think he is. He was 85 at the time of his apology.
Oh, dude.
He said, "Dude." So and people probably aren't celebrating him like some of these other folks are being.
But you
celebrated.
didn't know he was getting his tongue sucked by little kids.
I didn't know nothing about the Dalai Lama. Nope, I didn't.
You've heard of him?
Well, sure, by name, not this guy specifically. I guess it's like the Pope. They get a new Dalai Lama.
Oh,
every
really?
time. Yeah, I mean, this says 14th Dalai Lama.
Whoa. Okay.
This, you know,
we learn on this. We sit, we talk, and we listen.
yeah. I don't know if when we got together last week, the Pope was decided on or not, but we got a new Pope.
Yeah, we
First
talked about
American Pope.
Yeah.
Bizarre.
He lived a year in St. Louis.
It's true. We got some crazy seminaries in this city. Big Catholic
I heard
ties.
that on TMA.
No, that's true. He was in St. Louis a year. St. Louis is one of the biggest Catholic cities in the United States. It's like us, Boston, New York.
I was going to say Boston's probably number one.
Yeah, as far as
or maybe one of those.
Baltimore is also one of the top,
like San Diego, maybe
Catholic concentrated cities.
It's like a city has
San Diego
or San Antonio, like something with a heavy Mexican presence.
It means large vagina.
Whale's
vagina. Gosh. Well, scholars.
Well, who would your answer? It's probably
scholars still maintain that the
perceived well. Who's perceived well? That's dead. But was
a piece of shit. Gosh. I mean, it's like I don't know. I don't know some of these people's full scope, but like, you know,
imagine if Bill Cosby died before all this shit happened.
Right.
He's still alive.
A lot of people mention Steve Jobs.
Piece of shit. Steve
as
Jobs.
A piece of shit. Yep.
Well, I need to know why.
It's a lot of people just claim of his selfishness.
Well, I mean,
I guess. I don't know. I haven't read too much of it. His daughter was in high school. He had a daughter with his high school girlfriend. Reportedly decided paternity. So he had a young child that he didn't claim Steve Jobs. When he was young, he didn't, just refused to support that daughter. What do you mean? Not abandoning your child doesn't make you a piece of shit?
Young, but there's no confirmation that when he died, he wasn't like reformed or regretted that.
Well, he only died because he refused to treat his cancer. He said, I'm going to try these other things, and then they didn't work, and he died.
Yeah, but what I'm saying is, like, we don't know. Like, if that's from his young life, I'm talking about, like, people who did things, like, throughout their entire life. Because people make mistakes, like, human beings, like, they fuck up, and I'm not saying that who's to know that if he didn't regret that or always feel guilty or whatever it may be.
Yeah. Joseph Smith is a Mormon. He was apparently a pretty terrible dude.
Don't even know who Joseph Smith is.
The founder of the Mormon religion.
Oh,
Joseph Smith.
I thought it was something young.
No, you're thinking Brigham Young. That was like a prophet of the religion after Joseph Smith.
Steve Young's grandpa.
Brigham Young.
Mm-hmm.
Well, ain't that about interesting?
Well, I mean, overall, I think we've covered. I hate that we're ending on such negative stuff.
Oh, that's what the people want. Well, we talked about things we got going on this week that are exciting and fun.
Yeah, and I look forward to it. We will obviously be back at some point next week. I don't want to put a day on it. I haven't even looked at my schedule.
Yeah, who knows? We'll get together, and at that point we'll sit, we'll talk, and we'll listen.